All right, everyone. So we are finding the area of these lovely shapes. The difference here is they've not told us how long the sides are of these shapes. So we have to figure that out. So what I do want you to focus in on are the ordered pairs. And what I mean by that is the locations of those corners. So if I look at this very first one here, if I want to figure out the area of the rectangle, I'm going to know how tall it is, and I'm going to need to know how wide it is. Now, it doesn't matter if I figure out the top or the bottom, the left or the right. That's the whole point of a rectangle. Opposite sides have the same length. So I'm just choosing this one on the left-hand side. And because this line goes up and down, it goes up and down just like your y-axis. So because of that, I'm going to use the y coordinates. So I need to figure out how far it is from 5 all the way down to -4. So for some of you, this is just going to be the answer is 9. For some of you, you're going to need to use your visual and actually get yourself counting on a number line. So if I'm all the way up at 5 and I get all the way down to -4, that number 0 is going to help us out because how far is it from 5 to 0? Well, it's 5. How far is it from 0 to -4? Well, it's 4, which means the entire distance is, yes, it is a 9. And so when I talk about it, it doesn't matter if it's the left side, the right side, you can see if we use the right side, it'd be from a 5 to a -4, it'd be the same thing. Okay, so now we're going left to right. So because we're going left to right, we look just like our x-axis. And our x-axis uses the first number. So I'm looking at -5 and I'm looking at 8. So how far is it from -5 to get to 0? Well, that's a distance of 5. So I'm using this of how far is it from 0 to 8, and that's 8. So the entire distance is 13. So you can see this time, instead of me coming off to the side and drawing it over again, I'm just using the picture for it. So to find the area of the rectangle, I am going to do 13 times 9. All right, going to stack them up there, 27. So we'll carry the 2, 117. All right, in question number 2, it's a triangle. In a triangle, I've got to remember that I'm going to find the area of the rectangle, but I'm going to cut it in half. So I could go ahead, draw in the rest of my rectangle that's there, and then find the area of the rectangle. That's fine. Oh, but then I would divide by 2, of course. One of the things is I could just make use of the formula, and the formula says base times height and divided by 2. Now, the base and the height always meet at the right angle symbol. So if I see my right angle symbol right there, I know that there's my base and there's my height. And this is the whole idea. It's the exact same thing. So it just kind of depends on what you see a little bit better. So I'm worried about this and this. I could care less about that diagonal that's there. So if I'm going to start with this bottom line, I'm going left to right, which is just like my x-axis. So I'm going to use my x coordinates. How far is it from -6 to 2? Well, it is a grand total of 8. Yeah, to get from -6 to 0, it's 6. To get from 0 to 2, it is a 2. So the entire distance is an 8. Sorry, ugly looking 2 there. But anyway, all right. Height-wise, we're all the way, oops, I'm sorry, height goes up and down just like the y-axis. So I'm going to use my y coordinates. So I'm going to use the 6 there, and I'm going to use the -5. So any thoughts on how far that is? It is 11. Yeah, let's look at y. To get from 6 to 0, it would be a 6. To get from 0 to -5, it would be a 5. So the entire distance is 11. So 8 times 11 is 88. Let's chop that in half. Hello, 44. So we got a 117 and we got ourselves a 44. All right, let's check out number 3. Okay, so number 3 here, rectangle. So I'm going to figure out how tall it is. I'm going to figure out how wide it is. So because I'm going up and down, that is my y-axis. So I'm going to use my y coordinates. We do want to keep in mind the x coordinate is always first and the y coordinate is always second. So grand total here, it is a total distance of 11. So if we look at it, to get from -8 to 0, it would be a distance of 8. To get yourself from 3 to 0, it would be a distance of 3. So the entire distance would be an 11. All right, and we're going left to right now. That is like your x-axis. So I'm going to use the x coordinates. So how far is it from -3 all the way to 7? 10. Yeah, to get from -3 to 0, it is a 3. All right. From 0 to 7 is a 7. The entire distance makes it a 10. So, yeah. All right. 11 times 10, rectangle, 110. And there we go. So, again, heavily on our visualizing. Now, our last one here is a parallelogram. So what's nice about the formula is that it says just to do base times height. And the base and the height always meet at the right angle. So this is my right angle. I just need to figure out how wide we are, which is going to be that base, and that height, I need to figure out that dotted line. So if you would like to, one of the things we did before is we went ahead, we cut that portion off, and then we placed it right over there to end up making your rectangle. And we can kind of use our same information line here. So we're going left to right here. So that is our x-axis. So I'm using x coordinates. So I'm going from -3 all the way to 10. All right, that should be a 13. From -3 to 0, it is a 3. To get yourself from a 0 to a 10, it is a 10. So the entire distance is 13. Now, here's the thing is, you might be thinking, whoa, 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 I don't know what that point is. I can't do that. Well, okay, here we go. Walk us through it here. Let's see what happens. We're going up and down. We're going up and down just like the y-axis does. So no matter what point this is, I really don't care about how far left or right I'm going. I care about how far up or down I'm going. And regardless of where this is at, this is the ordered pair 10, 7. There's the y coordinate. This is the ordered pair -3, 7. That's the y coordinate. They're sevens. So, if I had to estimate, yeah, maybe at a 9. All right, because based on looking at here, but it would be at a 9, 7. I care about the 7. So we're going from the 7 to the 3. How far is it from 7 to 3? Notice we didn't cross over an axis here. Yeah, to get from 7 to 3, yeah, it's just 4. So yeah, there's your base and there's your height. So we're going to do 13 times 4. That's there. We're going to get ourselves an answer of 52. Again, a little bit more interesting because of not knowing the point, but we could figure it out. We're going to go to the right 9. We're going to go up 7 if you really want to and put in that ordered pair 9, 7 there. And then go about your business as usual. You can certainly do that. All right, so there are your answers to your classwork, all 4 of them. Take care.